Hi, it's Natalie at Legacy Property Manager again, doing part 2 of this little video. I am on our website and I previously read through some of our frequently asked questions on the owner side. So if you didn't watch that one and you wanted a little bit further of an explanation on some of those questions, feel free to watch that video. This one is going to be pertaining more to potential new client frequently asked questions. So first one on here is, what type of properties do you manage? So mainly single family, but we do dabble in multifamily. We do need to keep it under 16 units though. We do have discounts for multi properties. So if you're an owner that has multi properties, we do have a little discount set up. If you have questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. It is going to be based on the gross rents that your units bring in. So it'll depend on, the amount of rent. We can also assist in purchasing new properties to add to your portfolio, or if you're interested in potentially doing a 1031 exchange and acquiring a different property, we could totally help you there too. Just let us know. Next question is, what services do you provide? So 2 services for the management side of it. So full management is going to include us finding you a qualified tenant. So all of the marketing that includes, processing the applications, providing weekly check-ins during the vacancy. We'd be coordinating all of the showings. Then when we do have an approved applicant, they would come to our office. We would collect all of their move-in funds and then provide them keys. And then we would be the barrier between you and the tenant going forward. We would be coordinating all of the maintenance and just doing everything for you, leaving you as hands-off as you want to be. You would be getting monthly owner statements and then just collecting your rent at the end of each month. And then we also have just tenant placement. So we pretty much are doing all the marketing, vetting all of those applications that come in, coordinating the showings, doing all of those same initial steps as we do in full management. But once that tenant takes possession of the home, then you're going to be doing the day-to-day management. So we are no longer involved after the tenant comes to our office and picks up their keys. You'd be in charge after that. Can Legacy Property Management help me if my property is currently tenant occupied? Yes, we can. So we've had a ton of people switch over to our company. If they're maybe dissatisfied with another property management company, maybe that company went out of business. There's a ton of reasons why somebody could be led to switch to another property management company. So yes, we can totally take you on if you're working with somebody else now. It's best to kind of gather the documents that we're going to need while you're still working with them, while you still have access to your portal. So make sure to collect any leases, inspections, your tenant contact information, things like that we're going to need. Yes, we don't, however, take on properties when you're getting ready to just start an eviction. We would not get involved at that point. We would expect for you to complete that eviction, and then we would be willing and ready to start when we are at a fresh start, and hopefully give you a much better experience. Our next question is, why should I choose Legacy Property Management versus another management company? We have been in business for 16 years. I think that is a huge deal. We're super experienced in the industry. We have 2 employees specifically that have been with the company since the very beginning. We are present in multiple markets. So we have a Sacramento office that handles Sacramento, Yolo, and Placer counties. And then our Fairfield office handles Solano, Napa, and Contra Costa. So we cover a really wide region. We actually have a few owners that have properties, up in Roseville and then also in Concord. So we're able to help them in both areas, which is pretty rare. We also have the one point of contact with us. That is something that I'm finding with my conversations with owners that are wanting to sign up. They're very frustrated. Every time they call in, they're speaking with somebody else. Nobody really has an idea what's going on. I do think having one point of contact, one person in charge of your portfolio is huge. And I think that you will see the benefits of that if you do end up switching or joining our team. How much is your management fees? We do have a tiered pricing structure. So they start as low as 5.9%. We have a middle tier that's 7.9%, and on the highest end, it's 9.9%. So So we kind of have a price point for everybody, just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I'd love to chat with you more to kind of figure out what might work best for you. Our pricing sheet is also available on our website. And then what is the process to get started? So I am the process to get started. So we need to set up a phone call. I'd love to learn more about what you're looking for and if we might be a good fit, if what you're looking for is something that we offer. And then, yeah, we would just kind of chat about what you're looking for. We would need to set up a meeting for me to come out to the property. During that meeting, I always ask for you to give me a little tour, show off your property. I would provide recommendations on things that might be needed to get it rent ready. We would go over comps. I always bring a list of things that are available in your area currently, and also bring a kind of an average report for properties in the area that are similar to yours. And then I always bring a copy of the management agreement, and I like to just go through the agreement with you, highlighting the important parts, what I get the most questions on, and just making sure everything feels really clear and transparent. Signing a contract sometimes can be super intimidating, and I like to make it as easy and as the least amount of stress as possible. After that meeting, then if you choose to move forward with us, you would be assigned a property manager, and then we get started with the advertising portion. Yeah, we'd want to start out with about a 15-minute phone call, so I can learn as much about your situation as possible. Yeah, so if you're interested, feel free to give me a call, send me an email, and I'd be so happy to connect, and we can get your journey started. Thank you so much.